guys, in this video we're going to make a face cake of Drac from Hotel Transylvania. Now I've taken a screenshot, printed it out to the size I want. Now it's mainly the face that's going to be, in fact it's only the face that's going to be cake, but I've got quite a big board that we're going to cover in black. It's just fondant we're using, and what I'm going to do is kind of trace round, you see the edge of that printout, and I've just marked through it with my craft knife so I can see on the board where his cloak comes to. And the printout's just a screenshot from the new trailer. And it's quite dark, so I can't see what detailing he's got on the bottom. So we're going to make it up. And let's draw in a bit of a collar. And you can see I've just missed off the bottom of his chin on the template, but that's fine. We can add that in cake later. Just using the back of my modelling tool just to press down any bits that I want to look like they're sitting further back than the other bits of my board. And again, just pressing in to create some texture. I don't know if he has a ruffly shirt, so let's just put that texture on. Now I did try adding a little bit of highlights with my airbrush, although by the end they didn't show up very much, so I just went over them again a little bit more. And you don't need an airbrush, you can do this just with dry edible colours and a dry brush. So I've cut around his face, and then I've used a cake card and just cut around that so it's the same size and shape. And let's put this onto our cake and just cut around the edge. Now I've got two cakes that we're just going to pile up, so we've got two layers. Now I actually had one cake that was like a 12-inch square, and I cut it into two halves. This half I actually cut in half again, only because I was going to use it for something else and changed my mind. Just put a buttercream layer in between. Haven't levelled off the top, but that's fine because we're going to carve into that now. So just carving around the edges so it's got a bit more of a curve to his face. And then what I'm going to do is up near the top, I've marked in where I want his hairline to go. Now, if you can't do it just by eye, just cut out pieces of your template or your print off so that you can use it as a template. So you can see I have done with the eyes, nose and mouth. And I'm just cutting into those with my knife. So hopefully when I take this template off, we should see the lines. Yep. So just try and remove those now by going in sideways with your knife. Trim a little bit off the bridge of his nose. We don't want it to stick out too much. Kind of around the edges of the nose there, because we want the nose to stick out a bit. And let's see if we can hollow out the mouth now. Now I haven't quite gone as deep as my buttercream layer, but if you want to go deeper you can. Now I'm going to cover mine in a layer of chocolate ganache. You can use buttercream, but I went with ganache because it's quite firm when it sets, and because some of the cake's quite thin at either side of the mouth, I thought it would just stop it breaking when we cover it. So I've got a skin tone fondant here. And you can get this pre-dyed, or you can mix your own colour. I'll put links in the description box below to everything that I've used as well. So just rub this down gently with your hands, put a slit in the mouth so we can push that into the gap in the mouth. Just try your best to smooth around any lines, eyes, creases. I've just got this little flexible smoother just to help me with those bits that I end up catching my fingernails in. Let's just trim off the extra from around the bottom edge. Then can you see we've just pushed in around the hairline, and I'm just drawing in lots of lines now, so from the front towards the back for his hair. Now I'm just drawing these in rather than adding extra black fondant, and we'll paint it afterwards. Now his ears, it's kind of a heart shape cut in half. We're just indenting the middle of them and going to stick them on either side of the head. Now the eyes, I've tried to use the eyes that I cut out the template earlier to create the shape just by trimming around them in some white fondant. Just be careful you don't lose the shape if it's a bit soft. And we're just going to push that into the eye socket we made earlier. And I've got some blue fondant, and we've cut out two ovals. And then I've got two smaller ovals in black, and these are going to be the middle of his eyes. And then we're going to put a tiny white dot in there as well. Try and put it in the same place on each eye. And then we're going to cut out some bottom pieces for the bottom of the eye. Just use your template again to cut out those pieces of skin so that you can then draw around your template for those shapes for the bottom of the eyes. Eyebrows, just little sausage shapes that we squashed on, and then we're going to put lines in using our modelling tool. I'm just rolling a piece of black to fill in the mouth. Try not to get it too thick, try and get it pointy at the edges so it fits in. And I've got a really dark sort of red colour for the tongue. Now it can be a bit brighter than this. When I finish it you'll see that it doesn't show up very well, so I should have really kept it a brighter red. Now, teeth. I've just drawn around that template again. So cut out the teeth off the paper template. Roll out some white modelling paste. So modelling paste is better for this than fondant because it's much firmer. And then cut around using the template as the guide Same for the top set. So can you see, I've got my template above, I just traced around it and then cut that out with my modelling paste. Just stick it into the mouth the best you can. I'm just using water, but if you prefer edible glue, that's fine. We're just going to colour him up because his face is finished apart from adding a bit of colour. Just going to give a little bit of pink to the cheeks. I've got a strawberry colour one here, which is quite red. And then we're mixing that with a bit of sort of browny colour, slightly terracotta and peach for the lips. I've got a little bit on the teeth, but hopefully that won't show up too much later. Excuse my head and hair in the way. So can you see my brush is dry when I'm doing this? So anywhere that wants to be darker now, we're going in with this colour. So around the bottom of the nose, anywhere that there would be some shadow, keep looking at your template. And then if you've gone too dark anywhere, just put a bit of cream or white just to lighten it up. Now the really dark areas, I'm just going to use some black. Just make sure you've not got too much on your brush. And we've gone into the edges of the eyes. And then just on the outside edge, slightly in the top corners of the mouth. And let's go really lightly on the teeth. Not too much on the teeth. We don't want his teeth to look mucky. And then we're going to paint his hair. You can use whichever food colouring you like. Again, I'll put links in the description box below to the one that I'm using. I'm using a smaller brush to paint the bits near the hairline because I don't want to paint all over the face. We're going to do the same with the eyebrows. Now, because I've textured it, the paint doesn't always fall in between all those hairs that I've done. But that's fine because it looks more effective if it doesn't. You can go over the rest of the hair with a bigger brush if you like, if it's quicker. And we're going to add a bit more colour to the eyes. So I want a little lighter bit that we're just going to paint in cream or white. And then we want to take a darker blue. I've just got baby blue here. But when it's quite concentrated, it's quite a dark colour. And we're going to go around the edges. Then all that's left to do is to stick him onto that cake board that you've done. And I'm just going to try and lighten up some areas a little bit more because the board's looking quite flat. This time I'm not getting out the airbrush again. I'm just going to put some more powdered colours on. And I almost forgot. It does have some little eyelashes that you can just about see. So we're just going to paint those on with black food colouring. There he is, all finished. Let me know who your favourite character from Hotel Transylvania is. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment below. You can see more of my tutorials by clicking on the images on screen now. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button to stay up to date with my future tutorials. There are also links in the description box below where you can find me on Facebook, Instagram and more.